Okay, welcome to Crypto Corner. Welcome to a special Crypto Corner where Berzeck and I have the privilege of introducing to you our new partner. But before we bring Marcin on, Berzeck, would you introduce yourself for the one person who maybe doesn't know you on this planet?
Oh, yeah, sure. Hello, guys. For those who don't know me, my name is Mario Blacut, but everybody calls me Berzeck. I am from Bolivia, South America. I am a software engineer with more than 20 years of experience. And yes, I am old, but especially for crypto standards. But I am here today with you guys, very excited because we are going to introduce a new strategical partner, and you will see what we are talking about and what are our plans for the rest of the year, and the importance of this partnership for NULS future and
Mhm.
also NERVs. I have been working with NULS since 2018, if I remember correctly, and I am in crypto since 2013, I think, 2014-ish, something like that. Well, that's all about me.
Okay, thanks, Berzeck. And Berzeck, I don't think you're old because I'm older than you, so you can't actually declare yourself old. Okay, all right.
You
And
don't know,
my name
Kathy.
is Kathy Norman, and you can always reach me at my Telegram ID, which I've placed as part of my name tag here. Um, I used to be in IT, and then I learned more about blockchain, and I couldn't resist. I had to roll over to blockchain. And before we bring Marcin on, though, we want to talk about we stand in solidarity with the Ukrainian people, and we are posting 3 separate sites that you can contribute to the Ukrainian people if you choose to. And please do, as always, do your own vetting of these sites. If you have any questions or concerns about these sites, you can reach me at my Telegram address. And now, Berzeck, let's bring on Marcin.
Let's get it on.
Welcome,
Hello.
Marcin.
Hi, Kathy. Hi, Berzeck. Thanks for
Hi,
having me.
Marcin.
Yeah,
Very nice to have you
It's my
here.
it's
yeah.
an honor.
And I like your background. It's Swiss and blockchain at the same time.
Indeed, exciting things to come. So believe me, I'm excited. It was created
Mhm,
today, especially for that purpose
mhm.
for Crypto Corner.
Okay, great. And Marcin, could you start by telling us a little bit about yourself, and then a little bit about your company?
All right, sure. So about myself, so my intro will be slightly longer than you guys since no one knows me here yet. So I'm not gonna use my age analogy, but for blockchain, I'm above average. I come from a traditional world of finance where I would normally wear a tie to an event like that, but you told me strictly no ties. So here I am. So I work for a company called Thomson Reuters, which is one of the biggest companies in the world in Fortune 500. I worked 6 years for them in the fintech before the word fintech existed. And then for the last 6.5 years, I have been independent, and I've mainly have done CEO advisory and marketing strategy work, including blockchain. So for the last year and a half or so, has been focused on the blockchain. So I have been doing marketing strategies for consultancies in Hong Kong and across the world. So very interesting. So I've always been on the verge of finance and technology. So blockchain is very interesting to me. And in fact, one of my clients, not too far from you, Kathy, in the US, who I did some asset management consultancy for them, he told me probably 5 6 years ago to go to Switzerland and to do blockchain. And here I am, a bit too late, but I think the technology is here to stay. I'm an investor as well, with some big followers. And regarding crypto, I think we can argue back and forth. But regarding blockchain, I think there are many different applications. So I'm very excited to tell you slightly more about the company that I'm working with. I cannot tell you everything yet because it's under for legal reasons. We are still in the final stages of signing things up, but it is a Swiss company registered in Switzerland. It will be operating on the new DLT, so distributed ledger law in Switzerland. So you may have seen some of the biggest players in the industry actually taking advantage of that law. And I'm not a lawyer by any means, but from what I'm hearing, this is 3 to 4 years in advance of other European laws regarding cryptocurrency and blockchain. So I think Switzerland is, Crypto Valley. I think probably everyone here on the call knows about Crypto Valley. So I think this is something very exciting, and I'm personally excited to be part of it. And so, thank you for having me in to be able to share a little bit about it.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you here today. And so we can talk about your company, but we can't discuss the name of your company yet. Is that correct?
That's correct. So what we would call it in marketing, since I'm the chief marketing officer for the company, today we are literally soft launching. So this is the
Okay.
number one activity on the list. So NULS is a very important partner for us.
Mhm.
So I'm glad we are here all together. So this will be what we call soft launch. We'll have a tweet. We have a small surprise for the people attending. So Berzeck and I and you, Kathy, we can talk a little bit about it. So it's the soft launch, and as soon as we have all the paperwork ready, in Switzerland we are have been based in Luxembourg for the last 10 years. Switzerland, they're always very precise and organized. So once we have everything that we want to have and need to have, then we can go fully to the market.
Okay, fantastic. And then we'll be able to say the name of your company.
Correct, correct.
Okay. All right. So great. I'll just work hard at not saying the name. Okay. So very good. Very good. Would you like me to pull up the slides? What would you like to do?
Sure. Do you also have the quick teaser on your hand or the slide?
No, I don't have the quick teaser.
Oh, maybe the
However, we will be tweeting out the quick
oh,
teaser
wonderful. That's even better.
sometime soon.
That's
I may have received it or may not have. They told me they were going to be sending it to me soon.
That's even better because everyone can do it. It's only 18 seconds, so everyone can see it on their own laptop or phone. So it's even better. It will be difficult to do it on the call. But yes, you could put some slides in. I will.
Okay.
This will give a little bit more context. I can talk briefly about them, but I will
Okay.
not stick to them that much.
That's great. And for those of you who have joined us, we just have 3 slides, so
That's right.
it's not death by PowerPoint. So here we go.
Perfect. Thanks, Kathy. So yes, so
Okay.
here, as you've already know, it's about being Swiss and it's about blockchain. Here, what you can see, it's also about incubation. So incubation, as the name implies, it's for the early stage companies operating in the blockchain space. We have, so I know we have a slide here, Kathy, about the team, and the team I will probably be referring back and back to them because this is a wonderful, exactly. So obviously we have a nice team slide with all the pictures and all the details here. We just see the positions. But we have a very, very experienced team, and this is part. I'm not sure if Kathy, if you probably want to ask me that question, but I already answer.
Oh,
I if regarding me joining this specific project, right? We
yeah.
talked about it,
Mhm.
and for me, the team was a big, big kind of unique selling point of this project because I have seen many, as I mentioned, I've been doing advisory work for multiple blockchain projects, and when I saw the team, our CEO and the board. And other people in the key roles, I've really been very, very excited. So I think these projects tend to I've done a few business schools and I've done a lot of business cases in my life, and very often startups choose different paths and then they emerge and they skate toward opportunities, as we call it. but usually it's the power of the team. If you look at venture
Mhm.
capital, the success of the project, 62% in the early
Mhm.
stages is actually the team. So I
Mhm.
feel very, very comfortable with the team. I work with many teams across all
Mhm.
geographies, basically. And here you have a little bit of a summary. We have people from Fortune 500. We have board member who has 20 companies.
Mhm.
Uh, we have me as a CMO. We have most people are from Switzerland, so their CFO, CEO are in Switzerland.
Mhm.
So all the base, all the core, I think there's 14. I will not count quickly here, but it's 14, 15 of us at the moment. We have a Swiss legal
Okay.
firm as well in the capital of Switzerland, in
Mhm.
Bern. So it's I have not seen. I think I can say that. I know it's probably recorded, but I don't think I've seen such a strong team for a startup.
Okay.
So to me, it's just yeah. Go
And
ahead.
Marcin, it seems like a big team to me for a startup. Um, and or I've just been exposed to startups where they usually have three people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the same. So
Yeah.
this is a different. So when I advise the companies, they would very often come to me and say, "Oh, Marcin, can you do the whole marketing strategy in
Mhm.
3 or 4 hours?" And then they want to succeed as two ambitious young people. There's nothing wrong with
Mhm.
that. Nothing wrong with building a startup from your garage, and we know a few
Mhm.
people who did it quite well. But here is, I think I can say that it's not the capital is 500,000 Swiss francs, so the liquidity is there, and for with what we are planning in terms of fundraising, it's very carefully planned in
Mhm.
terms of cash flows, in terms of expense. The budget
Mhm.
for my team is already planned, so it's really a startup with, I would say, 2 years history of doing their
Hmm.
homework.
That's
So that's
good.
why I feel so
Okay.
strongly about it. So if
All
you
right.
can come back to the previous slide, just to
Sure.
finish these 2 slides off.
Did I get ahead of you here? Let me just go back to the previous one.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Very
perfect.
good. Okay.
Yes, you know better than me which slides I want to talk about. So here you see, so you will have advisory. So obviously that's quite natural for us as an experienced player, adult in the room. You
Mhm.
would say we would be able to advise smaller companies on which countries to choose,
Mhm.
how to go to market. I'm heading up a marketing team, which at the moment is the biggest team in the company. I have 5 people in total, absolutely wonderful people.
Mhm.
I feel very privileged because they followed me from previous projects that we worked together,
Mhm.
mostly in blockchain. So that's great that they were also very passionate about joining the team, and this is a common denominator. Everyone is very passionate about this project and the potential of this project.
Mhm.
Fundraising. So this is a big investment, and fundraising. Will be a big part of the project as well. So to have our own fundraising platform, so we will allow the growth and the scaling of smaller
Mhm.
companies, and then we can also help in the development and the legal regulatory. I already mentioned the legal firm, and there will be other support services as well.
Okay. So you describe yourself then as an incubator for startups.
Yes, we will start with that terminology and go to market. This is, I think, the closest to what we are. We will see
Mhm.
how we are, developing. Some people you use the term venture capital when they see similar services. The difference between venture capital and incubation is that we will have
Mhm.
actually skin in the game. We'll be investing in those companies, and we are playing more long term and aligned vision with those companies. So we're not looking just for a quick exit or just help them and then
Mhm.
leave. We're looking for a longer term.
And you're providing investment and fundraising services as well.
That's right. So we'll
Mhm.
provide a fund, like a launch pad, you can call it, right? In
Uh-huh.
in 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 our crypto world. So it will be a launch pad that will allow those companies to actually target
Okay.
various geographies, around the world, and grow also in terms of the funds. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And
So I will have
shall
one
we
more
go
slide.
slide three
Yeah.
now? Okay, that
Yeah.
one is my favorite slide. So
It's your favorite. Okay. So
okay,
here
yes.
So that's that's what that's the job of a marketing strategist a lot, right? So we've spent a few months analyzing the market, analyzing the competition, and looking into competitive positioning of this firm. And there are a few competitors, but we selected six. Well, there are some of them are unique selling points. I always stress the word unique. At least three or four are they're unique, and then we put for you so you have a little bit of bigger picture of why this company is exciting. Because it is for me, it is for people who are already working with it, but maybe for you to understand for all the listeners. What is it about. So first, it's transparency. I really love this point because we are registered in Switzerland, we will be audited in Switzerland. All the team members, not now, but as soon as we have the proper launch, will be public with LinkedIn profile and so on and so forth. So this is very, very important. And all the recruitment we have done, all the business, all the partnerships we have forged, it has been in a very, very transparent manner. So I love working with the CEO on that. We really are very, very rapid in terms of decision making, and this transparency helps. So there's, I think the blockchain world and the crypto world, there's nowhere to hide. And actually, all the scams that we have seen since 2018 and people benefiting from quick, money and then rug pulls and all of these things, here I think that it's impossible because of Switzerland. It has to be very transparent, and so we are not shy to go to market like this. Will actually everything will be public, and that's actually our strength. So the competitive in terms of competitive advantages, we're actually using one of the biggest problems in the industry and turning it into our advantage.
Okay.
Security, I think this goes hand in hand. So again, the audit, the insurance pool, and the experienced board members alluded to the fact how experienced the board members are. This gives the project security also in terms of forging other partnerships or in terms of the fundraise. They have amazing networks that they will be able to help us. So from my perspective, I told you I'm a little bit of a I have 2 decades in finance, more or less investing in capital markets. I'm not necessarily a alternative coins investors. That's not really my style. So a lot of my investors are asking, and they want to get, as we say in finance, a piece of a pie. They want to participate in it, and they say, why you selected this project. And when I saw the quality of the people, also some of the final board members, as we are actually getting that also delayed slightly our launch, but we wanted to make everything perfect. These are people who don't engage in random projects. So from my standpoint as an investor, that brings security to the projects, because if they see a red flag, they will immediately help us to solve the problem. I think this gives me and the CEO and the key people also a certain layer of caution that we have people who are very experienced. The legal framework I talked about a little bit. So the Swiss DLT law, I've mentioned it. I encourage everyone to look it up because this is really cutting edge. So hopefully we can help some of the companies, some of the people who are on the call. Maybe you have your own startups. Don't hesitate to reach out once we are live. The law firm that we have, they will be our partner. They are our partner. They will be able to help other companies as well as part of our incubation services, and they will be reviewed quite soon by the Swiss Market Authority as well. So again, all the audits and all the market authorities will be done there. The Swissness. I've had very positive comments. I spoke with a lot of investors in Europe, Asia, and America as well. And the brand of Switzerland is none of us is sitting in Switzerland here. I went to Davos for the World Economic Forum, and I spent over a week with the team. And I must tell you that trustworthiness, integrity, and the quality that you find in Switzerland is very hard to find. I think Roger Federer and this kind of guys sitting in Switzerland, really I live we Luxembourg. It's only 4 hour drive to where the company is headquartered, but it's a similar work ethic. But I would say Switzerland is perhaps even better, and so it's a really, really high quality. everything is prepared, the homework is done, and for me personally, it's my favorite work ethic in the world. I can state that.
Mhm.
The network. So I think without using the word network, I talked about network quite a lot. So partners. So I'm so happy with the NULS partnership on the technology front. We have other partners that are equally exciting, and I'm also working on some of the biggest firms in the world who are interested in discussing with us as well. So stay tuned, and hopefully we are able to bring other partners, and this will benefit directly and indirectly all news holders and also this company token holders or participants in the project. So that's really good. The community. So again, I'm on the older side. So as a CMO, I know that I'm slightly different to other CMOs in the blockchain industries, but it comes with the advantages and disadvantages. I can tell you that our CEO and most of the team is very young and dynamic from the industry. And so we are really after building a global community. So I feel a little bit safer on the old investment and bigger partnerships and so on. I've built several communities, mainly around investments, but we have experience and know-how in the team how to build blockchain communities. And this is usually how we are, divided with the CEO. So CEO is all about the community. I'm a little bit more about the fundraising, and we work in tandem with the entire team to build a global community. We already have some interesting PR announcements and some help from third parties to build those communities. So all of you on the call, absolutely get a piece of it and get engaged in the project. I know Nils will be tweeting about it. We will reward your engagement as well. So Berzeck, you can confirm that once I finish these few words. And the investors as well. I think there will be some. I don't want to jinx it, so I don't want to say who and how, but hopefully we have some trusted bigger names there as well. And then the technical, I think, I'm not an expert, but when I discuss these cross-chain capabilities, this speaks to people who know a little bit about the blockchain. So when I started a few months ago, it was 10, and now we're already on the 25, and every presentation it's more. So I'm very happy to see that. From what I understand, this is bringing a lot of ease of use for the end user to go cross chain and not depending on one chain. So that's great. Multi chain wallets. So it's going to be much easier to keep track of all our small investments. And the technical support from NULS. What better partner could we have? So I'm very happy about that. And to be honest, makes me sleep better because I know the experience of NULS from the technological standpoint. So why would we, reinvent the wheel and do something that we are not as experienced as Nose is? I'm super happy to have Nose and to cover the technical standpoint.
Okay.
So,
Marcin, thank you. And I love the term Swissness. And thanks for qualifying it as a work ethic and a commitment to excellence. And that's, of course, what we all want to see in projects. I also like the term that there's nowhere to hide,
yes,
because
there
it
is.
it it is important to be transparent and 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 that's part of what the legal framework ensures that a company is. So that's really cool.
Mhm.
Berzeck, I'm going to drop this slide so that everyone
Thank you.
has a larger footprint on this screen. And Berzeck, can you just talk and tell us about how the NULS and Marcin's company's partnership works and the benefit for NULS for this partnership?
Yes, sure. And this is a question that many of our supporters will may have: is why they have chosen NOLS. And the reason is because everybody knows that we have great technology. We have a lot of developers, and across our life, we have never been accused of bad technology. We have many complaints of all areas, but never because of our technology. So, but we have weaknesses, and this partnership complements all the weaknesses we have. As Marcin said, they have an incredible big marketing team. Share the man's curriculum, for God's sake. So, how much better than that can you be? How many more achievements can you have in your life in marketing? So, this is a perfect complement between each other because we have a lot of experience on blockchain technology. We have a lot of experience on cross-chain technology, which many analysts believe is the future of the blockchain. And we are going to build our masterpiece with this company. So expect great results. Expect something that the whole partnership will lead in terms in crypto and not just another copycat. Also, I want to highlight the fact that this is fully regulated. This means that we can do any dubious business process because if we do, you don't need to go to our homes searching for answers. The government of Switzerland will do that for you. So this company is searching for deep pockets, not just small time investors, but deep pockets that have real interest in the long term development on the industry. And this is what this partnership is about, of developing products, a set of
Yeah.
products that will have a great impact in the industry and not just another copycat. Thank
I
you.
love Kathy. Before you comment, I love what you said, Berzek, about big pockets and also the community, because I think this is a unique thing here that we want to have both. It's very difficult. We can either be old school and you try to attract venture capital, or you can be very community driven and only attract smaller. Here you have both. So ideally, what I would like to see, and our CEO and he's all about it as well, is to have the community and the bigger players work together. Whether it's a formal incubation, whether it's learning from the Telegram group, whether it's learning from CryptoCorner or whatever it may be, this is what we want to do. So democratizing this world it's a great opportunity for me as well. Coming from the finance world, venture capital was always a world dedicated to wealthy people. Now, by allowing launchpads and investment in this kind of firms but via tokens, it's unheard of. Being able to buy for 1,000, 5,000, or 500. This has changed the world. I'm actually doing something like this similarly in the capital markets. I think this is an absolute future. So having both, I mean, maybe we're getting too ambitious here, but if you shoot for the stars, you're at least gonna hit the moon. So I think that's an interesting aspect.
Yeah, I agree. Whales and plankton all are welcome here in this partnership.
Everyone
So,
is welcome. Yeah.
That sounds great. And so what we should do now is open this up for questions. And but before we do, I just want to remind everybody that for those who are attending today, if you could take a screenshot of your ID and Crypto Corner, and then you can send it to me afterwards. We will drop some nulls into your account. Plus, what are we doing to reward people with questions, Berzeck?
we will give a few notes. So please do smart questions. We will reward the smartest ones.
Okay, the smartest questions. Okay, and okay, and that'll be more nulls than I normally drop into everybody's account, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, all right,
sure.
perfect. That's great. And let me just see. I saw a question back here. Feel free to send your question again because we've got a number of people who have said hi in the chat space and some people who have posted questions. So it's very hard to find the questions with the chats. But there is Boom Earn has submitted a question, and that is, what are the biggest challenges you expect to face, and how do you plan to overcome these challenges? Thank you, Boom Earn.
Shall I start, or Berzeck, would you like to start?
Uh, yeah, sure. Well, from the technical point of view, the biggest challenge we will have will be well. I can't talk about it too much about
Mhm.
the details of the product. Even I need to tighten up my lips, even that I want to. But we are building a product that will live, and there are a lot of technical challenges doing that. Uh, Most of them we already have overcome. So there are
Mhm.
little ones that needs to be tighten up to deliver the product we are trying to deliver. I can talk more about this because for legal reasons and everything, these guys demanded. I am just need to tighten my lips, but that's a good
Yep.
question. Surely we will
Okay.
come to more details in the near future.
Okay.
From other areas, Marcin, maybe you can
Yeah,
answer.
I think one of the, since I'm an investor, that's a relevant topic for me to pick up. We obviously are experiencing a crypto winter, if you want to call it, or the market has gone down. Bitcoin has gone from 60,000 to 20,000, and we have few things. This is an environment that is not easy to navigate, but in the business world and the investment world, that creates long-term sustainable opportunities. So usually, with as with evolution, Darwinism, the strongest survive, and actually, it is shown that the companies that are created during the downturns, they are some of the longest surviving ones, the most
Mm.
sustainable companies.
Mm.
So I think this is something we are aware of. I think this can slow some of our investments, but as if we start with the family round, I don't think that's a problem. But we need to be. It would be um, unprepared for us not to count that in. So we are looking at our tokenomics and considering this aspect. But I think it will be the survival of the fittest, and also we will have a very strong vetting for new projects as well. So perhaps some of the you know very ambitious but not very well prepared projects will not come this way, but the better projects will come, and therefore our platform will be stronger. So I
Mhm.
think this is one of the challenges that we can hopefully
Mhm.
address
Mhm.
as well. And the regulation we talked about, we don't want these rag pulls, which are absolutely scandalous from my point of view. And I think here we will be close to minimizing it to zero. So again, this the work ethic and the way of our preparation, that's very, very interesting.
Okay. Thank you. And thank you, Marcin and Berzeck. And I know that it's there are topics that or facts that you cannot disclose at this time. But can you tell our listeners when you will be able to disclose more information?
Yeah, at the end of July is planned the full announcement,
Okay.
maybe early August at the most.
Okay.
So there we will spill the details that
Spill the beans then.
has
Okay. Very
been
good. Okay.
great.
All right.
But
Okay.
Knowles community deserved a
Uh-huh.
pre-announcement. So this is the first time you are hearing
Mhm.
from this
Yeah.
project here on
Yeah.
Knowles. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And this is also the fact that you're announcing now, but you can't announce everything now, and we'll be doing that in the future. Is also a reflection of the rigors that you're going through with respect to the standards and laws that have been created in Switzerland. That's my
Yeah, that
understanding, Marcin.
that's right. And we
Okay.
want to be fully compliant with that, and we
Yeah.
want to be a good boy and do everything by the book, by
Yeah.
the ruler. And I can tell you that my team has about a month of content ready to deploy. So we are ready, but we want to be compliant. and you'll definitely hear us in the space. And I couldn't emphasize the NULS partnership enough. So you'll hear from both sides, and my, my wish would be for many of you to get engaged, because I think it's very interesting, and I think both projects there will be a synergy between the both. I think we can help them, and NULS can help us.
Okay. And thank you. And as I come from IT, so I believe in rules. If you follow rules, good things
Hmm.
will happen to you. If you don't follow rules in IT, bad things happen. And so
Right.
I appreciate the rigor that you
Mhm.
are going through in order to make sure that you are completely transparent now and moving forward. And now I'm going to ask a question that you've already addressed to some extent, but I feel it's a very good competitive question, and it's from Dimitri.
Mhm.
And to the extent the question above, I don't know what that is above, but why nulls above other blockchains? What is it? Why nulls? And Brzeck may want to answer that. I don't know.
Yeah, as I said, nobody ever complained about most technology. We have developed a very nice stack of products, a portfolio of products that most of them will be used for this project. Navox, Nerve, Swap Engine, Swap Aggregator, Nerve Cross Chain, the NOLS protocol, smart contract, the tokens, everything. All of those components will be used
Yeah.
in this project. So we have a lot of components that we developed, but with this project, they will be synchronized doing
Mm-hmm.
some specific tasks. So it fits perfectly for the goals of the
Mm-hmm.
company. And we we have 10 full-time developers, which
Yeah.
is very big considering our market cap. As I said, we build things. We don't.
Knowles builds things, that's for sure.
Sure.
That's yes, Knowles is very good at building and developing on things they've already built on, and actually in also Berzec in this multi-chain environment. Uh-huh.
So, Kathy, sorry to introduce you. I wanted just to highlight the fact that when we were talking about this,
Uh-huh.
uh, we have already products built to show, and not just a PowerPoint, an idea. No, just finished products they could test and know that it works. So we have all the
Yeah.
credentials needed
Yeah.
that to support.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
And yes, yes, and also I think I'll stop there. Okay, let's go to another question, and this is from NGMGJMP. What makes this project different to other projects? You've talked about that a little bit before, but if you could just recap that, that'd be great.
Sure. Sure. Yeah, I think the slide number 3 in the presentation. I don't know if we will be sharing the presentation, but all of it was competitive positioning, really. And well, there's even slide 4, Katya, now that was with a
What
watch.
slide would you like me to put up?
The number 3. It talked
Okay,
about,
very good.
yeah, that's one. Perfect.
Oh,
Thank you. And then we can, when I finish answering, you can put number 4, so we you see another nice brand identity. But yes, so these are the competitive advantages, right? So these are what does it mean? It's our strengths against the competition. I think number one, to answer that question to you very clearly and not just being backed by the slides, to me, the team is
yeah,
something that makes it really different. As I said, I've consulted numerous companies like that. I've done a lot of business case studies. I finished business school in England. I did Harvard Business School later in my career. So I've worked on companies. I invest in about 50 companies as an investor right now, also publicly. So I have a lot of experience analyzing companies, and each company is different, and it's never easy to know which startup will be successful. The startups can go. Ethereum was priced 0.3 Swiss francs, right, or dollars. I can't remember how they. But and then you have price in thousand, right? So Facebook, or I mean, you always want to find the next one, and it's not obvious at the beginning that that's the next one. But what I have seen in my career is that the strongest team tend to build the strongest companies. Because also we haven't spoke about the agile approach to work. It's so obvious for us, right? But we have a team calls 2 times a week and at 7. And we do everything agile way with no waterfall. But we may need to skate a bit. In fact, when I started, we wanted to be a launchpad, and then one of our partners from Silicon Valley challenged us and said, "You need to think bigger. You have something bigger here." And then we thought, okay, well, the incubation. Today I had a call again with the Silicon Valley and the CEO, and we are already talking about maybe even bigger. So all this to say that you cannot plan a company perfectly. Instagram launched as a geolocation service. There were no photos, no double tap. And when they found out that that's what people like, they changed. So, so having a strong team with such a work ethic, Patrick and I, we always laugh because we love to work. We do double full time or whatever it is, and the reason is not because we have nothing else to do. The reason is because we love the project and what it came from. So to me, the team is absolutely a differentiator here. In terms of, so Berzek just covered the technical elements. I'm not an expert in technical elements, so it's difficult for me to tell you a reply in a very technical terms. But in simple terms, from what I understand, being on 25 cross chain and going higher, that's a differentiator as well. Because if you have a project that you need to build smart contracts on Ethereum or Solana, and you cannot change this environment, to me it would be a blocker. If I had 10 different 10 different investment, all of them on different chains, it's a big headache. I barely can remember my passwords. So doing that would be quite challenging. So I think that's a differentiator as well. And just to give you the third one, because in marketing we often think in threes, and the Swissness and the legal framework combined, this is another differentiator because most money is in the US, so the American market is about 5 times bigger than the European market in terms of volume and deals made. And Swiss, actually, if you know Crypto Value, which I think many of you know, because there are a lot of companies, Ethereum, and there's Zug that's very popular. It grew from 108 billion to 611 billion in 2021. So that's almost 6 times in 1 year. So Switzerland is really at the top of their game in terms of blockchain. They understood the potential of it. They are very progressive. And so being not only registered there, but having the board memberships and the key roles, being there physically, not outsourcing everything. I'm not against outsourcing, but, not outsourcing everything because it's cheaper somewhere else. Actually, we do everything in-house. We have a global team at top global locations. That's different because I see a lot of outsourcing to Upwork and then trying to make the projects work. But believe me, it's not the same as having 15 people on the payroll. So and we also have skin in the game in this project, so we want to make it successful. So I would give you these three as
Thank you.
differential.
Thank you, Marcin. And I agree. Teams really are the magic in a company. And there's a saying that I love to quote. And that is, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, get on a team. So thank you. And now I'm going to read another question from Felipe.
Kathy, one more
Yes.
thing I wanted to is that another thing that makes this different is that it's designed from day zero to live in crypto. I mean, it's not just a team that will make a product and let's see how it happens. It's designed from day zero to break for the big leagues, not something progressive, nothing. Just directly a big product with big qualities and for the big leagues. That's why the founders have invested a lot of money, because that's my understanding that it's not trivial to submit all the paperwork needed to be regulated,
Mhm.
and it has been done before even the company has been set up
Mhm.
and in the process. So all the project is designed to be on the big list from day zero.
Thank you for that, Berzeck. Thank you. Uh, Philippe asks, uh, the big problem faced so far is that people still don't know this technology.
Mhm.
In that sense, what will your company do to leverage marketing in favor of NULS so that more people know this ecosystem?
Oh wow, wonderful question. You may put the next slide, Kathy, and I hate to do that, to ask you to put the slides, because I think you are one of,
There
so yeah,
is,
yeah,
this is the end
yeah,
of your slides. Is
this is
this
the
a
end.
slide that you wanted?
Yeah, but I just wanted to show before,
Okay, very good. Okay. All right.
because actually Kathy, what you are doing with the Crypto Corner, and from what I've seen so far, you are a great resource in terms of increasing people's understanding of technology. So I think it's not a secret if I say that I had calls with Kathy to learn more about NULS, about the technology, how it works, why it's important, and how to build a wallet and how to transfer and how is tipping bot working and all of these things. So I think having the partnership with NULS is not just a gimmick that it's on the paper, and then NULS is a stakeholder, and my project will be a separate one. This will be a close partnership with overlap, where my marketing team can join NULS marketing team, and we can do things together. So think about that, right? You have already 90,000 followers on Twitter. We have zero or few, but as we start, we can cross promote and so on. I cannot tell you exactly my marketing budget, but I can tell you it's a good size marketing budget. So we will have some amazing things coming. I'm in discussions with some of the biggest influencers in this space who want to be the part of the project, and just got SMS like asking me if we are signing any papers, so that they are getting impatient, you see, to join. So we will be doing. I would actually like so many different things. I have, I think, 130 slides, and both Berzek and Kati saw it, of how I want to do it, and so it's a big working document. We have 10 minutes left, so I won't be able to tell you all about it. But I would definitely like to have Kati continue doing those webcasts on the educational front. I will be doing my presentation, which will be a bigger version of this one. So I will present a pitch deck, right? This is the usually material reserved for investors, but it will talk about the projects. I will probably do a pitch deck for investors and pitch deck for community, so it's slightly different, audiences. So we'll be doing it on the weekly basis. Our socials, as I told you, we already have about a month worth of socials. I have an amazing copy chief who is pumping content. I have amazing head of PR as well. So there are a lot of announcements, partnership. So I can tell you the space will not be boring, and there will be a lot of eyeballs on those activities, and they will benefit NULS as our technology partner and as our stakeholder. So obviously, at the beginning, we need a bit more help from you guys to get us off the ground. But once we are off the ground and start accelerating, I think it's gonna be a good team. So I'm very excited. So it will be a lot of different things. It will be webinars, it will be social media campaigns, it will be joint PRs, events. Finally, almost post COVID, I just got back from London. I had a big event. We'll do events. Not sure if together with NOS or separately, but again, having two budgets and different people who work, we can do amazing things. I don't know how you like the design, but I'm very was the most difficult resource to find these days. Is this proper designer, and I hope you liked it, because you literally able to do my background just in the morning, and few hours in for this presentation. So that's fantastic. We may be, I don't know if this is appropriate for the call, but we may be hiring and expanding if we are successfully raising funds. So perhaps some of you could work with us in some capacity or just get engaged with the project. So there's going to be a lot of things.
Okay. Thank you, Felipe, for your question. And Marcin, thank you for your kind words. And I was laughing while you spoke, but I don't know if you saw it, but while you were saying you can't disclose the size of your budget,
Yeah.
Berzeck was expressing
So
how he thought the size,
Yeah,
what your budget
it's
was.
all
So,
perspective, Berzeck. It's all perspective.
yeah. I know that everything is relative in this world, but some things are not so much. Let me say about that. But I wanted to add up that.
pretty good.
Uh, as part of the agreement, they will help us with the marketing thing directly. It will just not be something indirect, but a lot of activities will be directly to expose NULS to a wider community, NULS, NERV, and the whole stack we have built. Uh, they have the budget for this, and even a small of that budget is a lot more than what I have to for the whole Western operation. I can talk more about, but even I would, but that's how it will work. So this will help also them, this company, to vindicate their why they chosen us. Because the more successful we are, well, their selection was more vindicated. So it's
Yeah.
also in their direct interest to do
And
that.
just Yeah, and just to add, sorry, Berzek, to cut you there, Felipe, right? I come from finance, so it's not that I take the budget and I spend it. I already have one of the best that I know performance marketing guy on the team, and he will be fine tuning all the analytics and finding what works, and we will be adding budget there as well. So when we find something that works, you will see the results. So it it has to be spent wisely, and then I have to present it to the board why I spent it. So believe me, it's also managed in the right way.
Thank you, Marcin. So, Berzeck, there are a couple of questions in the chat here regarding null swap, and such as will Marcin's company be a partner of null swap? Will null swap be using the token from Marcin's? Will be will you be able to swap on null swap the token for Marcin's company? So I think we should. What do you think? Should we table those and we'll address those when we at a later date, or what would you like to do
No,
about
I
that?
can answer that. I think the company will use uh, some share of the tokens and will use null swap as
Okay.
well as null swap.
Okay. Uh-huh.
So, and we are not ready in the phase where we will expand our network partnership, but it surely will be open to even strengthen up all kind of partnership with our partners. So
Okay.
there will be other opportunities that will be discussed afterward. But yes,
Okay.
100% sure that our token will have a representation on
Yeah.
null swap. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Marcin's company's token will have it. Okay. Very good. Then we're going to be wrapping up soon. And how about if we take Dimitri's question as the last one? And that is, what is the next milestone for this partnership?
What is the next milestone for the partnership of NULS
Yes.
and
And your company.
yeah,
Yes.
think about Berzek, think about the answer. I'm not sure if I overstep anything, but nothing bad will happen. I think we will have a joint PR, public relationships, that we will publish. It's ready, but it's waiting for all the green lights on our front, and this will be, well, if it goes well, it will be published in various different venues, um, because also the venues are actually interested in them. So there, we have a budget for it that we want to push it out, but there are also some venues that are interested in it organically. So not sure how interesting it is for you, but for investors or for people who look at your project, that some of the first PRs are very, very important. So it's actually a very, very important piece, and it will be one of the next milestones that we are already prepared. So it's just for us, it's just to make it happen.
Okay.
Also, I remember that at the end of July we have the official announcement. We will
Mhm.
spill the beans with more details, the tokenomics, more details on the exact relationship between NULS and this company, and so on. So that will be the next big milestone, maybe the official announcement as well. Marcin, of course, will also participate. Will be the central figure on this. We will hear more about this. Someone also asked the LinkedIn of you, Marcin. Maybe you can provide because
Sure,
it's too difficult to believe. Maybe so.
sure,
Maybe
sure.
you can.
I can
Yeah,
do it. Yeah, I
perfect.
will send it. If I send it on the chat, will people be able to get it?
Kathy,
I
maybe we can
think
share.
I
so.
send it on the chat, and then
I'm
maybe
not.
we can
Do you know if you
link it.
send it to me, I will distribute it
Okay,
to the people on.
perfect.
I will get it to our listeners somehow.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
what are
Mhm.
you going to? You're providing the URL for your LinkedIn? Is
That's
that
right.
correct?
I've already
Okay.
sent you. So either if you could put it in the comments or whichever
I will
way
put it in
you
the
get.
comments and see if it arrives.
Maybe if people would send me invitation, if you could just specify that it was Crypto Corner, that would be great.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Okay. Yes, because they can connect with you on LinkedIn.
that's
So
right.
they'll
That's
just say that they're from Crypto
right.
Corner. That's great, and I'll make sure that everybody gets your LinkedIn,
Yeah. Hmm.
and also so we're reaching the end of the hour, so we're going to be wrapping up soon, and I want to remind everybody to take a screenshot of your login with the Crypto Corner stuff so that I can reward you with some nulls for attending and participating. And we will announce who receives the nulls for their great questions. And basically, everybody whose question I've identified will receive some nulls for that. And now, what I'd like to do is turn it over to you, Marcin, and then Berzeck. And if you could say some words to wrap us up, that would be great.
Sure. Well, I would just like to thank everyone here on the call for joining. Fantastic questions. I really appreciate your engagement. That shows me that you were interested in the project. So I was really glad that I was able to humbly share some of it, even though I would like to share more. So thank you for joining. I look forward to hearing from you, and thank you, Kathy and Berzek, for having me.
It's been a pleasure to have you today. And Berzek, it's so great to see you. I was commenting to Berzek that he and I communicate by Discord and Telegram. We seldom see each other or speak to each other, so this is a bonus for me. I've basically spent an hour with you, Berzek. That's a great bonus. So if you could
Yeah,
wrap us up and take us out, Berzek.
that's true. Well, I want to thank you very much, Marcin, for being here and to consider to give this pre-announcement to our community. These guys are the first to know in the world these details. So we
Mhm.
are very happy about this. We are very happy about this partnership. We have a lot of things planned for this. We will make things happen outside of our small circle in NULS. So, well, this is the beginning of a very, very long,
Mhm.
nice, and hopefully profitable
Yeah,
long term partnership.
yeah,
Thanks, Martin. Thanks, Kathy, for
yeah.
your always
Pleasure.
great work.
Okay. Oh, thank you. All right. Want to thank everybody for joining us for this hour, and I wish you a happy and safe remainder of your day. Thank you, Marcin. Thank you, Berzek. And with
Thanks,
that,
everyone.
I'm going to hit the end broadcast button here. Bye bye.
Bye.